Sarah Black from Crossfit Big City. We're here for mobility prep for 17.4, which is a repeat of 16.4. So we got deadlifts, wall balls, rowing, and handstand push-ups. So we're going to go over some mobility drills for you to do that maybe you haven't heard of before to do prior to your general warm-up for the squat. So for the deadlift, we're going to start with a segmental inchworm. So what we're going to do is try to move each segment of our spine one at a time as we walk down to the floor, and then we're going to continue on to our normal inchworm to increase that extensibility in our hamstrings. So we're going to start with a chin tuck, and we're going down to the floor trying to move one segment at a time. Then we're walking out, stretching the hamstrings, walking our toes back in, and then standing up each time, coming up segmentally. Okay, so what that helps to do with our deadlift, as we get fatigued, we're going to get some flexion in the back. We want that load to be distributed evenly, so you're not getting all that load in one segment in the spine. And then we're going to follow that. You'll do that 3 times, standing up each time. Then we're going to do some isometric deadlift holds. So you're going to load the bar with much more than you can lift, because we're going to work isometrically. And this is to prime that nervous system, so that when you get fatigued, it's prepared to lift the load. So we're going to start in our deadlift position, holding onto the bar, and you're just going to pull the bar apart to get those shoulders activated, core, and then you're holding for 10 seconds at about an 80% tension. So again, we don't want to lift the bar, because we don't want to tax the nervous system, we just want to prime. Okay, so I'm going to get in my position, I'm going to hold for 10 seconds, and relax. First couple times I want to do this, I want to be in my good position, but after a few, I want you to actually flex a little bit, so that again, your body's primed for when you get fatigued, and you might get a little flexion in your spine. Okay, so again, we're not going to go super flex, but just a little more flex position. Again, we're holding and relax. So you can work your way lower to the ground. And again, we want to work some different positions, so as you get fatigued, your body, your spine, your hamstrings are prepped to take on that load. A bonus to this is doing your segmental cat-camel from 17.1, so you can find that on the YouTube channel. And now we're going to move on to wall balls. So it's going to be super key to have that ankle mobility, hip mobility, so that you can get into that standard of hips below the knees easily. So we're going to start with an ankle move. You're going to come up onto a bench here, and your thumb and finger in that kind of web space is going to cup the calcaneus, or the heel bone. Okay, and so as we go into that mob, sorry, I should do it on this side. As we go into that mob, we're going to push that heel down as we bring that knee over our toes. Okay, so you'll feel some traction there. And you even want to, what is called evert, so push that thumb more than the finger as you come forward, using your elbow to give some overpressure. Okay, so I'm not letting the heel come up, I'm putting pressure to hold that knee down, that heel down. Then I'm going to do my pails and rails, so progressive and regressive angular loading. So I'm going to push my foot into the box like a gas pedal, holding for 10 seconds. And then I'm going to lift my foot without shifting my weight back. So it's like I'm bringing my shin to my foot and my foot to my shin at the same time, holding for 10 seconds. Okay, so not only is this going to help that dorsiflexion required for wall balls, required to get into the catch in the row, but also in those handstand push-ups, because if you keep your heels pointed towards the ceiling, you'll get more range to meet that standard of the heels above the line. So you need that strength in that front of the shin to be able to maintain that position of the ankle. Okay, so you'll repeat 3 times each side. And then we're gonna move on to a supine wall squat with some tails and rails to open up those hips. So we're gonna come up against the wall here into our squat position with our butt as close to the wall as we can. Elbows are gonna be on the inside of our knees, and we're gonna push our elbows or our knees into our elbows, holding for 10 seconds. And then we're gonna try and pull our knees apart like we're wishboning our pelvis to get those glutes going, okay? Key here is to keep the foot in contact with the wall and keep pressuring that big toe so we're not rolling onto the outsides of our feet. Okay, we're gonna repeat that 3 times, 10-second holds. And then pull, so we're pulling our knees apart. Okay, so that's gonna open up that hip and the groin. A common area of fatigue in wall balls is actually the feet, especially for a shorter athlete that needs to jump to hit the standards. So we're gonna do a few toe squats to get that arch going. So it's an eccentric load of the arch. So I'm up on my toes. I can use the dowel for support and balance. And I'm just gonna come down into my squat, staying on my toes. Okay, so I'm loading that plantar fascia and coming up. And you just need to do a few of these. And it will also warm up those quads a little bit more, okay? So as we get tired from the deadlifts, our wall balls might become a little bit more quad dominant. Bonus for this one is the foam roller assisted dead stop squat, which we did in 17.3. You can also find that on the YouTube channel. All right, we're back with the rower. So to get our hamstrings and our hips prepped for that rock over on the row, we're gonna do some passive range lift-offs for our hips. And it's important to be able to get that rock over so that we can actually generate power at the catch, versus if we don't rock over, we'll be kind of behind the line, and then it becomes a lot more upper body dominant, which is gonna fatigue you for those handstand push-ups, which are next. Okay, so for this, you're gonna rock over. One foot's in the foot stretcher, the other is just supporting you on the side. And you're going to, using your hip flexors and your core, you're gonna lift your foot up off the foot stretcher. Okay, we're gonna hold for 5 to 10 seconds, depending on your fatigue level. Okay, and relax, and repeat 3 times. If you have that really full hamstring cramping, or it feels like the whole hamstring grabs, feel free to do some pails first. So you're pushing your foot, contracting that hamstring first to reset the muscle spindle so that you can get more range on your lift-offs. All right, so we'll repeat 3 times each side. And then we're gonna move on to some diaphragmatic breathing in a Frogger position. So again, by the time you get to the rowing, heart rate's gonna be up, respiratory rate's gonna be up, and then now all of a sudden you're doing an aerobic exercise where you're fully compressed when you're trying to breathe. Okay, so what we're gonna do is lie on our back and keeping the ribs down, we're gonna work on some abdominal breathing, trying to expand 3-dimensionally through our diaphragm. Okay, so our abdomen is a 3-dimensional shape, and we want to treat it like such. So we're increasing pressure into the ground, into both sides, as well as the front. Once you've done about a minute of that and you feel comfortable, then we're gonna go into the frogger position. So you're gonna hold, or a happy baby position. You're gonna hold your heels, and that's gonna mimic that compression at the catch. And then you're gonna continue your diaphragmatic breathing, which will feel more challenging in this position. So I scheduled that one under the rowing, but it's also might be a good idea to do at the start before you do any of your other mobility drills, just because it's a little more calm. You can start thinking and visualizing about your workout. And then moving on to the handstand push-ups. All right, so we're gonna start with a passive range lift off with press behind the neck. Okay, so ideally you're in that tripod position, but if we can increase that mobility of our shoulders behind the neck, then everything's going to be a lot easier through here. Okay, so you're going to hold on to the dowel, again pulling it apart. Okay, keeping the core engaged and under tension so that I don't compensate through the back. And I'm going to lift, keeping tension on my shoulders, lift the dowel off the back of my neck, and then maintaining that position, I'm going to press it overhead. Okay, so I'm not arching my back, and I'm not letting the dowel come forward. Okay, come back, reset, and press. Okay, if you have trouble with the eccentric range, you can also come back down. All right, so we're gonna do 3 sets of that, or sorry, 3 reps of that. And then we're gonna get those wrists warmed up. So if we're lacking 90 degrees in our wrists, handstand push-ups are gonna require a lot more mobility through our shoulders. We might be more likely to arch our back if we don't have that solid position there. Okay, so we're gonna start in a high plank. All right, and this is a good opportunity to work on that core position as well. So when you rock forward, you're not arching through your back, you're rocking through your hands. So that's gonna help that balance in the handstand push-up, but also work on keeping that core engaged in that neutral position as you press up so that you don't arch that back, which is key to keep the standard of movement so that your feet don't drop behind the line, or below that line. Okay, so I'm gonna be in a handstand position here, or sorry, a high plank position here, and I'm just gonna rock into each kind of corner of my wrist extension, because we're not always gonna be in that same position as we try to get those reps through fast. Okay, if you find an area that's sticky, you're gonna do some pails and rails. So we're gonna push our hand into the ground, again like a gas pedal, hold for 10 seconds, then using the back of our forearm here, we're gonna try and lift our hand off the ground. It's not gonna move, similar to our ankle, because we're at our passive end range, but we're gonna get the nervous system firing in that position so that we can maintain an active position in our handstands. Okay, so work on that about 2 sets of 30 seconds, depending on how long you can hold a plank for without fatiguing. All right, last thing is for those who might not have their handstand push-ups yet, or that have sticking points through their handstands that you want to work through. So we're going to use isometrics again to prime the nervous system in those specific positions. All right, so I'm going to get Chris to help me with this one. And he's going to start at basically what he can press up from. So Chris can go from the floor, but he's going to demonstrate what some people might start on. Okay, so 2 block. And he's going to come down to the 2 block. Okay, and then he's going to press without pressing up. So he's going to get into his good position here. Again, think about those heels pushing to the wall or to the ceiling to get that standard. And he's gonna just do an isometric, so he's not actually gonna lift his head off the blocks. He's just gonna engage everything and hold it in that position for 10 seconds. Okay, then he's gonna come down and come all the way down. And it's a little bit like Goldilocks. So you're gonna move to the next progression. So we have 2 plates here and a block. So Chris is gonna kick back up. Lower himself to that block. Okay, get in a good position. Get those heels pointed towards the ceiling. And then engage everything to press up, but he's not actually going through the movement. Okay, go kick down. Move down to the lower block. Okay, find that good position. Work on that handstand hold as you do these and engage everything as if he's pressing up. So similar to the deadlift holds, we're not trying to overcome inertia, we're trying to meet it, okay? So, great to do if you're missing some range to get all the way to the floor. So the next progression would be to the floor. Chris, you can come down. Or if there's a sticking point in your handstand push-up, work 15 degrees above and below that sticking point. All right, so that's all for this week. Good luck on 17.4, and we'll see you next week.